I like singing. I like dancing.
I like trains.
Hello YouTube! Morkez Marihser here. On my last birthday, I made a prediction video for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. Unlike several others I saw using nothing but gut feelings and picking their favorites, I decided to choose an equal number of courses between each of the 8 games, since there was no real way to accurately predict Nintendo's wins and biases. At least per game, I'd have a good baseline. I had always intended to come back to this once we reached the halfway point, to see how I'd done and how I would update my predictions from there. Don't get me wrong, I'm still eager to see how my first try does as we get to the end of this. Speaking of which, here's the first try, right now. As a reminder, the arrangements in each cup were all entirely arbitrary and done to my amusement. Note the fruit cup containing the big apple and the entirety of the spiny cup being what it is. But how did I do? Drum roll, please. You know what? Not bad. 8 tracks predicted correctly out of the next 16 to come, with an additional 2 where I got the wrong iteration of the right theme. And yes, I am counting Boo Lake in that regard. And frankly, I'm not upset that I'm wrong here. The method to my madness was to test the method to their madness. And their madness takes me right back to the pattern-based prediction days of Smash. Oh boy. Except this time, I actually have a pattern. Break out the tinfoil! This is gonna be good! Today we're going to break down how I did so far, my change of methodology given waves 2 and 3, and my new predictions at the end of it all. But before I do that, let me make one thing absolutely clear. There will be no discussion of leaks, data mines, or any such information in this video. I rarely say anything like this, but discussion of the data mines in the comments is unwelcome. We're here to experiment, extrapolate, and have fun, so please do not ruin it for anyone. If you wish to troll me, find other means. The internet has no shortage of them. So, let's start with... To put it bluntly, my methods were way off base, and it's just as well. Some games have been given special treatment, especially Tour, which I'll get to later. But within the other titles, here's how it went. I guessed Mario Circuit correctly, but I chose 2 instead of 3. I'm still a bit confused there, 3's not exactly anyone's favorite, but it came out fine. Nothing else to report. Doesn't take a genius to predict Calamari Desert, but I'm surprised that's all the material we got. 64 is pretty popular. A surprising amount, but all I got was Boo Lake, or at least its twin. And Snowland? Why? I'd love to tell you how I did, but there's nothing here! People are unhealthily obsessed with this game. You'd think something would show up. So far, I'm on the money, which is not surprising. Also, it's Waluigi freaking Pinball! Did I do the thing? Do I get a cookie? Am I Nathaniel Mandy? I take back my earlier statement. This is the unhealthy obsession, except this time it's being indulged. Both Mushroom Gorge and Maple Tree Way? Seriously? One of these in particular is a pseudo meme pick, but I'm glad they included it at least. And since both my method and the All Rainbow Road Cup are basically dead now, I'm more than fine with this. Everything from the Wii U was already taken? Shenanigans, I say! And then we get to... Tour was the disproportionate golden child here. There's no sugarcoating it, and it does make a lot of sense. From a marketing standpoint, they want to use Tour as a way to advertise the DLC, and vice versa. And it also offers entirely new content to the Switch game. From there, it makes sense why every single cup has a Tour track. And of the ones they included, all my predictions are here, so there's that. New city courses are also being added over time, so the pool was naturally not going to be limited to those that were available as of the announcement of the pass. At time of writing, we have 11 of those, not counting variations, and those variations get combined anyway. But how does one explain Sky High Sunday? Or why Ninja Hideaway and Merry Mountain aren't listed as tour tracks in the DLC? Rather than form a migraine over Mario Kart, goodness knows I've done that already, I've got a label for that kind of course. I call it a Tour Original Non-City Track, also known as a TONK. Oh god. The term is self-descriptive, fun to say, and you find one in each wave, which makes a lot of sense. Sure, it does muck up the original advertising somewhat, but it also makes the DLC more appealing to purchase. And speaking of advertising, essentially, here's how every wave of DLC is laid out. We'll forgive Wave 3 for swapping a few places around here and there. Each wave consists of 2 cups, A and B. A has a city track, 2 normal courses, and what I consider to be a showstopper, a huge fan favorite that Nintendo knows will help sell the pass, and plays a lot into the promotion. B has a city track, 2 normal courses, and a tonk. It's a pretty firm pattern, Wave 3 notwithstanding, because Rainbow Road makes sense at the end. No, I will not consider Maple Tree Way a showstopper, thanks for asking. As far as what these courses are, well, for the city courses, we'd require 6 more, and we only have 5 left to use. The last one will probably be added to Tour sometime next year, but until that happens, I'll put in a placeholder. I'll call it Tel Aviv Turnpike. It could be something else, but Tel Aviv actually sounds like a pretty good one to use. For tonks, I can't really predict these as the concepts for them don't exist. But I'll throw in some theme ideas that make sense to me and we'll see how lucky I get. In this case, I'll have to come up with 3. And then there's the normal tracks. This is the hardest part, as the only patterns I could come up with are cynical jokes, and I'd rather not. So I'll just work with reasonable expectations and a splash of awareness for content that is already in Tour. I tried spreading things around somewhat evenly because I still felt my original method had some merit, but I had to be practical and at least one game got in the dust. Spoilers, it's Double Dash. Sorry in advance, but the original DLC really screwed it over. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Or you skipped ahead to this because I added chapters in the video. But if you actually watch the rest of this, you get the cookie. So, let's fill the board. Amsterdam Drift is nice and spring-like, fitting a March or April release. The showstopper, from Double Dash, is Wario Coliseum, which was actually pretty hard to choose as many people's favorites are in the original DLC. Nothing would top Baby Park. However, it was easily the one that best fit my criteria of being a juggernaut in the marketing. For a tonk, I chose a circus theme, something we somehow don't have yet, and it feels all but natural to show up. Also of note are Koopa Troopa Beach and Shy Guy Bazaar, 2 courses already in Tour that are well enough liked and can transition over smoothly. This wave isn't anything crazy, but it fits together nicely. Los Angeles Laps definitely fits the summer vibe for a July or August release, so it's an easy choice. As is Daisy Cruiser on a similar vein. The showstopper this time is Sunset Wilds, easily the top beloved and requested track from Super Circuit. A Beehive tonk feels like something that they would totally do. It's wacky, it's somewhat unexpected, and the only remotely close thing we've ever seen is that one battle course in 7. I'll admit I am a little concerned for redundancy with Vanilla Lake 1 considering Snowland. But when you see the final wave, I think you'll understand why everything here is the way it is. What Merry Mountain is to Wave 3, Vancouver Velocity is to Wave 6, with similar vibes and very different layouts, thankfully. I still feel like DK Mountain is a shoo-in over Dino Dino Jungle. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I'm sticking to my guns. I'm also sticking to my guns with the showstopper, Bowser's Castle from 64. I couldn't ignore it before, and absolutely can't now. Woohoo Loop, Airship Fortress, and even Choco Island 2 are also quite beloved in their games and still fit nicely. But the real star here is the finale tonk. Similar to Race of Ages from title on screen right now, this will be the final Mario Kart track and will feel like it. Until, of course, they make another one, but that's their problem, not mine. So, here's the bingo card, updated. Let it all sink in while well, instead of a clever outro, I'm going to say this again. No discussion of leaks or data mines in the comments. I see that, I'll remove it. I see it from the same person again, I will be blocking. You have been warned. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe to see what I do next. This is Morkez Marihser, signing off.